Voting rights activists say they're concerned about long-term impacts of President Trump's efforts to challenge vote counts in predominantly black communities.
Welcome to another episode of Motivational Minutes, and I'm your man Bailey.
Bag, drip, drip.
DA got that dope.
I'm here, nigga. Take a minute motivational hits. Real life, real talks, motivational minutes.
All right, so we're gonna do this again, and I want to say for the next few videos, we're going to talk politics. We're going to talk about the younger generation. I'm actually going to put this on both of my platforms, so it will be on my Motivational Minutes page, and then it will also be on the nocappnalldrip page. So for this, it's going to be twofold, and the reason for that is I feel like these videos need to be seen by the younger generation as well as my generation, and maybe even an older generation. I'm gonna start to come to these videos. Before, it was very organic. I would sit down, I would turn on the camera, and I would speak. These videos have a reason for the actual videos. There is a concept behind it. There is motive behind it. There is a message that I want to get across. This one has a target market, a demographic. So you've already seen the title of this. So the title for this one is MAGA and what it means to you. We just got done with a very, very hectic political race for our president. Now, in this situation, whether we like it or not, it was made about the current pandemic that is going on in the world that I haven't spoken on at all. It was also made out to be very racial. It was about getting out, voting, making sure that us as African Americans did vote. It was one of those things where what was truly pushed across in this race was just that, race. It's made into a race war. It's 100% based on black versus white, Mexican versus white, Asians versus white, black versus Asians, black versus Mexicans, Mexican versus Asians. It was a nonstop. That was the message that was pushed this entire time. Republicans versus Democrats. MAGA versus non-MAGA. So I'm going to take this to 4 years ago. 4 years ago, Donald Trump ran as our president. And he put on a hat that says, "Make America Great Again." Now, there were a lot of people that stood behind that slogan. A lot of people that wore that hat. A lot of people that came out of the woodworks that you usually didn't see. Those in particular were those that were pushing a dynamic that a lot of people don't agree with. Racism. It brought racism literally here to the forefront. It brought racism to the highest platform that it has ever seen in this country. Okay? Racism has been at an all-time high. MAGA, Make America Great Again. What does that mean to you? I'm going to tell you what MAGA means to me as a black man in the United States of America, where I'm born and raised. Yet many times, even I personally have been told to get out of this country. Go back where you belong. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I didn't choose to come here. My grandmother didn't choose to come here. My mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, and my great-great-great-great-grandmother. You know why? Because they were slaves. They were brought here not on their own accord. When you look at the history of our country, this country that we call the greatest country in the free world, and a free country, a country that has been fought for many times over, and we swear is the freest place that you could be. So let's talk about that. If we make this country great again, there are 2 time periods in this country where it was considered great. First time, this country was taken from someone else. They were killed, raped, pillaged, and then you enslaved people of my skin color. And that's when this country was considered great. Number 1. Number 2. The second time that this country was considered great was, again, at a time where we were neck deep into the civil rights movement. Slavery was over, but it was 100% segregated. The world was segregated. You had black and white water fountains, black and white restaurants, black and white seating areas, black and white buses, seating areas. There was a lot of things. At that time, it was pretty much okay to call someone out of their name that was not of your race. And it was probably, it was the second time where, unfortunately, those of a Caucasian nationality got to reign free and pretty much do whatever they want to. Hangings were at all-time high. You had KKK, white power, There was a lot of different things that were out there, and none of them were positive. So, when you come and you put yourself out there as an American president, and your slogan is "Make America Great Again," but the only time that this country has ever been looked at as great is when you were persecuting someone of a different skin color other than white. That's not going to sit well. When your base and your voters are Caucasian, when now KKK members freely come forward, those that claim white power and any of the other hate groups that are out there come forward, and they feel that they are empowered in a version that they can make their presence known with no consequences, do what they want of no consequences. And unfortunately, even in our current status with our law enforcement, they have pretty much done whatever they want to, whenever they want to people of color, and there have been nothing to happen to them. There has been nothing. So it makes people of other races pay attention just a little bit more, a little bit harder, and recognize what's actually going on. And it changes the dynamic of what freedom is and what it feels like to live in this country. As we all know, I am a father. I have children. Children that are of my color and they're lighter. But it is a known fact that when you look at them, they are African American descent. They are children that belong to a black parent. You guys have no idea how hard it is to be raising boys, men, and women not knowing what their future truly entails. You do not understand what it's like as an African American, and trust me, I'm law-abiding. I don't do anything wrong. I've had my bad boy days. Those are way long, far behind me. I don't even speak, okay? But the moment that there's a cop behind you, you literally have to ask yourself, are you going to be okay? Are they going to pull you over? Are they going to mess with you? There are so many different things that happen, and I am the furthest from a fearful person, and I'm 100% a realist, and as a realist, unfortunately, those are the things that we are going through as a society. There are people that have gone out of their way now to express their true feelings for those of us of African descent that before had never done so. I appreciate that 100% because it lets me know who you truly are. But what it has also done is it has exposed so many people that you felt comfortable with that you no longer will. We are on the brink of what seems like a civil war because, again, it's become about race and it has also become about political parties. Over history, I actually I research, I read, I love to do things like that. And I'm going back over history and I'm looking at where are the African American hate groups? There's never been none. The first thing that everyone brings up is the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party came together to protect our black neighborhoods. The original version of the Crips and then the Bloods were there to protect our neighborhoods because we were being picked off. We were being beaten. We were being shot. We were being raped. We were being hosed down. We were having canines released on us, whether we did something or not. If you look at the court cases and how many cases of people, even today, are being released from prison for supposedly rapes, murders, burglaries, and robberies that were happening in the 60s and the 70s that supposedly they did against white people, Caucasian people, and businesses that, guess what? They never did. Targeted. It comes a point in time where you have to ask yourself, when was America actually great? I leave out terms like white privilege. Is it real? I'm not white. I'm not Caucasian. Does it seem like it? Is it easier for my best friend who happens to be Caucasian to get a job than it is for me? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What has worked for me in the past is one, my voice. I don't sound like your typical African American. And my first name is John. What has to happen at this point in time in life is the first thing that we need to do is we need to unite as people. First and foremost. We are all human. We all have red, green, blue blood cells. We bleed the exact same thing. We all drink water. We all eat food. We all sleep, walk, talk. We do the exact same things. So it comes upon a time where we have to sit here and we've got to take the political views out of this situation and get back to the fact of who are we? What is our goal? What is it that we as a people are trying to do? There are so many different landscapes out here that speak of community, and we can go. I've looked at something here recently way more than I had ever. The Black Lives Movement. Sit on that for a second. Okay, so we have currently Black Lives Movement. Have you noticed how many different races are out there in this movement? Let's go West Coast. Washington, for example. They literally took over an entire city, an entire downtown area. But when you look at the majority of those people, what are they? Caucasian. What I've noticed are when certain people have certain dislikes for a certain race, the only thing they point out is looting and rioting. Looting and rioting. Let me give you a history lesson on looting and rioting. Who were the first people to ever loot? The Europeans. Who were the first people to ever riot? Europeans. What happened in 1776 that got this country to where it's at? What happened even after that, when you had the North versus the South? When you truly break it down and you look at it, at that time, our forefathers felt like they were being controlled and they wanted their freedom, so they fought for it. And in order for them to fight for it, they looted, rioted, fought a war, then came and pillaged a whole nother country, enslaved other races to build their country, beat, raped, killed their workers to build a country that now, I'm not going to say the tables are turned, but they're getting pretty equal in many ways. And now that the ancestors of the people that you beat, killed, enslaved, raped, rioted their towns, their homes, their cities, took everything from, the moment that we become angered or angry at exactly the same thing that your forefathers did to you, and we act out the exact same way that you did, your ancestors, it's wrong for us to do it. Yet, me, living in the Midwest at one point of time, can tell you KKK is definitely well known and in full effect. They make their presence known. place of Springfield, Missouri, where 3 black men were hung in what their downtown is, which is called the Square, the busiest area in the 3rd largest city in Missouri. But there were no witnesses and no one saw anything. And they were hung in a place that traditionally the city was known for hanging. Make America great again. Cool. In order for America to be great, the first thing we have to do is band together as people. We have to unite. We have to come together. We have to look at our current society and make changes. We have to look at our current government and make changes. Our government is supposed to work for us, not them, not the other way around. They dictate everything that we do. They have all of the control. They have all of the money, and we just take it. That is not the way this country was designed. On your own money, it says, for the people, by the people. In God we trust. We put them in office. So don't they owe us? We don't owe them. They owe us. You guys are so wrapped up in political parties, red and blue, elephants and donkeys, that you've lost sight. And the moment that the elephant doesn't agree with the donkey, nothing else matters. You've lost sight of what the whole goal is. Oh, they're going to raise taxes. They're raising taxes on people that make over $400,000, which guess what? That isn't you. So it doesn't even matter. What does matter is we need to regulate the way our school systems are ran. We need to regulate the way our local government, police officers, courthouses, attorneys, we need to regulate how those things are ran. And whether or not they are truly working for us, for me and you. Because if they're not working for me and you, who are they working for? Oh yeah, multimillionaires and billionaires. That's not us. They call those 1%ers. 99% of us outnumber 1%ers. Yes, they have more money, but we have more leverage. We have more power. We have more voices. If you want to make America great again, what you need to do is look at the person next to you that is not of your color, and you need to tell that person, I'm sorry. You need to get to know that person and understand where they come from and where their background is in order to help them be better. Because the only way our society grows and gets better is when we become friends and neighbors again. Back in the day, I remember if I did something, my neighbors told my parents. But they also came out, grabbed me, snatched me up, told me to stop what I was doing, and took me home. That no longer happens. If it's not about nothing, if it's not about money, it's not about nothing. That's the way everything is ran nowadays. Everybody minds their business. Get out of my business. I'm out of your business. I don't want to talk to you. We don't believe in the same thing. You're not of my faith. You're not of my religion. You're not of my political party. And you're not of my color. We have created so many branches of division in this world that it makes no sense. If you're not this, that, this, that, and that, it has to end. We are born as children, and we have no idea, no clue about what racism is. We have no clue of what politics are. These are things that are all taught to us. We are taught to be separated in these different sects and sections. based off of our beliefs, and mainly the beliefs of our parents or whatever the situation may be. How about us, this generation right now, change the way that we teach our kids to be? It's going to happen regardless, but guess what? We can control it, and we can keep the BS that is currently going on today from happening. Do you really want to be one of those people that are a part of our kids probably having one of the largest wars within our own country over nothing other than the choices that we chose to make? Because we said we were going to make America great. And by making America great, we segregated it by color, race, religion, and political parties. Think about that. So this is part one. It'll probably be like a series of 5. So, welcome to another Motivational Minutes / nocappnalldrip moment. Again, I'm your man Bailey. I'm not